What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today, it is the 8th of December, lads. So, we are going to be going over the top 5 most OP cards in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. So, I'll be going over the most overpowered player per position. And, you know what, I'm not going to make it so that they have to be primary, but also these guys have to be purchasable. That is my one caveat for this video. I have made this video every single month since November of 2018. We are more than 3 years making this video once every single month, and you better believe we've had the same damn thumbnail every single month for the last 3 years for these videos. Consistency is key, lads. Consistency is key. But anyway, yeah, so these are only going to be auctionable cards, and none of the reward cards are going to be included in this. So, we're starting off point guards. So, point guards including secondary position. I think if we're looking at like auctionable cards, I think it's hard to argue against Penny Hardaway. I think it is. I think Penny is just objective. He is number one. And there's a lot of good point guys in the game, but Penny Hardaway, he's 6'7" with that 6'10" wingspan. His release is decent. I don't mind it as much this year as other years. I hated base 10. Like, I despised base 10 in other years. However, this year it's not bad. And if you look at his like stats, he can guard the small forwards on defense. Because a lot of times you're gonna have to put like your 2 guard or your small forward onto the point guard. He can guard 6'10" guys if they're buying him on the wing. And look, 88 speed, 89 acceleration, 83 3 ball, 85 lateral, 85 driving. I'm sure he doesn't have clamps, but not the end of the world. You can give him Intimidator defense later. As long as he's not guarding primary ball handler, he's fine. He's got some shooting badges. He moves really well with that quick dribble style. And I heard the dribbling got buffed a little bit. So Penny is no doubt about it going in here at number 1 on our point guards. Number 2 is an interesting one because there are a couple of options. There is De'Aaron Fox. Well, for me, there are a couple of options. I don't think Steph Curry's there right now. I really don't. I think De'Aaron is there. Was in that conversation. Because he's again, really good. I think John Wall. And I think Marcus Smart. So it's a really tough one between those 3 guys. So there are benefits to all 3 of them. And I will explain what they are in a little bit. Like, there are definitely benefits to all 3 of these guys. And you might be saying, why Marcus Smart? But like, you'll see what Marcus Smart specifically does that puts him into that like top tier category. So Marcus Smart, it's between these 3 guys here. So De'Aaron, Marcus Smart, and John Wall. So Penny's obviously a no-brainer. But De'Aaron's got shifty dribble style, dunks really well, has a good release, can shoot the ball pretty well, and is a good but not spectacular defender. Like 88 steal, no interior though. He's got half quick first step. He's got clamps, got hustler, he's got an acceptor, pick dodger, pickpocket, pogo stick, all these on gold. He can get limitless spot up, so if you give him that badge, he's good. He's got quick dribble style. And 6'3 with a 6'6 wingspan, not too bad, but his player build is very skinny, which is not ideal. And you've got Wall. Stats-wise, Wall is the best, like 93 ball, 96 speed, 96 acceleration, like 46 versus 38, 2 extra half badges. From De'Aaron, and one of those hot badges is sniper, which is pretty good, but I will say go over his half sniper is barely a difference. You can give De'Aaron a sniper. Defensively, a little bit better interior, better lateral, but the big difference is you got the 94 on ball steal tendency for Wall, and Wall is quite a bit taller with a longer wingspan, so Wall is much better on defense. But Wall's got base dribble style, which basically renders that half quick first step useless. He's not going to get anything with that quick first step. Base dribble style is not the worst dribble style. It's not power bad. I think Slasher is probably worse in most scenarios than base, but there are ways that you can kind of abuse Slasher. Like, there are people that abuse Slasher with Trae Young. So, I will say that it's not maybe the worst, but for me, I think I would take De'Aaron over Wall. I think it's a close one, but I think I would take De'Aaron over Wall. And then there's Marcus Smart. Doesn't quite have the speed, but his defense is the best of all 3 of these guys. His shooting is the best of all 3 of these guys. His release is unbelievable. He's got quick dribble style. Literally, the only problem with him is that he has 76 ball handle. Like 80 driving dunk's even fine. If you can get away with that ball handle, he's perfect. He doesn't have the Huff badges, which is a bit of a problem. But he does have all the key badges on gold. Like, for me, I think Smart's better than Wall. But is Smart better than De'Aaron? I think so. I think so. Like, De'Aaron... That's a close one. These three are so close. I can guarantee you, no matter who I choose, if I choose John Wall, there's going to be people arguing that De'Aaron's better. If I choose Marcus Smart, it's going to be people arguing that John Wall's better. And screw it. Screw it. I can't decide between the three of these, so I'm going for the cheapest one. If there are three cards that are genuinely hard to distinguish between, just go for the cheapest one. In that scenario, if you're not going for the cheapest one, you're dumb. If there are three cards that are so similar to each other, you're not going for the cheapest one, you are crazy. Or you're not crazy, you're just dumb. You're being reckless with your MT. So, shooting guards. There's one that I still think is streets ahead. Like, absolute no-brainer for me. Mr. Klay Thompson. Wherever Klay is. Klay is way ahead at that two guard position. The reason why Klay is ahead: 90 speed, 90 acceleration, 95 lateral quickness, kind of can dunk. He gets safe dunks though. Got like half catch and shoot, half quick first step, half dimer, half clamps, all the key goal badges in the game. Hey, look, for a two guard, what badges do you want on him that he doesn't have? Maybe mismatch expert. Yeah, you want to give him chef. Maybe you want to give him post spin, just abuse, but he can't really abuse that. He can move. He's one of the best primary ball handlers in the game. Shoots from deep, moderately good dribble sigs, but he's got that shifty dribble style. He can't left right anymore, but he could. Bullet passer, downhill, floor general, glue hands, really solid release. Like Klay is, there's a reason why we all put Klay as the number one player in the game coming into this season, and he's still the number one player in the game. But then, it's a close one. It's a real close one. For me, between 75th anniversary Harden. 75th anniversary Harden has to be in the conversation for this. Between him. I honestly like Ray Allen. I really like Ray Allen, but I'm not going to put Ray Allen in it because I'm going to put Tracy McGrady in. I think there's a lot of good players. I think these guys are the two that it's close with. So what Harden can do, Harden has a weird shuffle that's like the Curry slide. The Harden escape is really good. That is only can be done by James Harden himself. Harden's release is chicken. Is he the greatest movement wise? No, but he won't miss. Say not. Is he the greatest in terms of like getting a shot off? No, he's slow, but he will not miss. Movement wise, he's good. Fundamental dribble style is not what it used to be, but it's not bad. James Harden's dribble style is just fundamental. The only problem is that like you kind of have to go horizontally to get something off fundamental, but apparently you can go horizontally a bit now. Defense really, really solid. Speed, two ball and acceleration good. Three ball good. Dunking really good. He doesn't ever get blocked, and his defensive badges are good. As well as that, this Harden is spectacular as well, by the way. This glitched Harden. He is spectacular, but this one's just better. Basically, the difference is that like this one only has one Huff badge, the other one has four, and imagine all the silver badges get moved up to gold, and a few the gold badges get moved to Huff. That's basically what you're getting with the Hardens. And then Tracy McGrady. Does he move like Harden? No. Does he shoot like Harden? He's probably a better shooter. Movement isn't great, but you give him a couple of defensive badges. Defensive stats are there. Dude's 6'8" with a 7'2" wingspan. I think it's hard to argue. It's hard to argue against it. Like, I wish I could. Tracy McGrady. Get in there. Get in there. I'm not that high on T-Mac, but my God, 6'8", 7'2" wingspan. He deserves that. He deserves that spot. Then we're on to the small forwards. So, the new Larry that came out is pretty good. The new Larry that came out is very good. Paul George is very good. Kevin Durant, though, I still think Kevin Durant has to be. I still think Kevin Durant has to be that number one position. I really do. As the game's gone on, I still think Kevin Garnett is that number one guy. So, like, Kevin Garnett with his 6'9", 7'4" wingspan, shifty dribble style, solid release, sniper, stop and pop, volume shooter, rhythm shooter, goal limit spot up, goal quick first step, silver clamps, can get all the key defensive badges. 79 steal, which is not awful. Good on defense. 6'9". Durant, he still is. Like, I think I made this, when I made this list this time last month, 2 of these top 3 cards were already out. Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson. But Kevin Durant is so good. He's so good. And, like, it's a close one, number 2. Like, Batum is really good. I think maybe Wiggins. Wiggins might be better than Paul George, you know. Wiggins, Larry, and Paul George. I don't know which one. So, let me just compare Wiggins to Paul George. And then the Batum as well. So, Wiggins is so much better stats-wise than Paul George. Well, to be fair, 39 of that is in post-fade. But, like, plus 34 block is huge. Badges-wise, Wiggins still gets... You add a few shooting badges to Wiggins. Wiggins defensively is fine. He's 6'8" as well. 7-foot wingspan. Check Batum to Wiggins. Batum evoed. So Batum evoed to Wiggins. Wiggins is 117 total stats more. Like 13 are in vertical though, I will say that. But he's got plus 8 speed. Plus 19 driving dunk. Plus 18 hands, which isn't great. And a lot of the other stats are quite similar. And Batum's a better rebounder, but purely at the small forward position. I mean, Wiggins. I think I'm going to go Wiggins. I was like, Larry Bird's got that 45 driving dunk. Like, Larry Bird, they're so different players. They are such different players. Like, Larry shoots from limitless. Like, stats-wise, Wiggins is a little bit better, but, like, Wiggins is way better at dunking. Larry's way better at shooting. I think I'm going to give a slight edge at the small forward position to Wiggins. However, at the power forward, maybe Larry can get his spot there. Because Batum and all these guys are still up for the power forward position if possible. So, power forwards. I think there's one that, look, I may not be the highest on this card, but I don't think anyone could argue the 75th anniversary Giannis is not the best power forward in the game. Especially if you go and badge this guy out correctly. So, the Mystic one can really only get catch... Of the effective shooting badges, can only get catch and shoot. That's the only effective shooting badge he has. Like, only a 69 3-ball. However, this Giannis can get every badge. So you give him catch and shoot. You give him corner specialist. You give him sniper. And all of a sudden, he's pretty money, especially from the corners. And then again, you give him a good shoe and a coach like Steph Curry. And he's up to like a 79 3-pointer. And you give him a few of these shooting badges. He's not going to miss that often. Defensively, Giannis is just Giannis. Offensively, he's not going to dribble with the ball as much as Giannis used to. He's really here for defense. I'm just going to say this right now. This might be the worst Giannis will be at 2K before they change dribble styles, because Giannis doesn't get the glitchy behind the back anymore. So he doesn't move like he used to. He has a wide player build. He's not that skinny player build anymore. So he's not going to be the same. Like he might end up being better. He might end up being worse, but I have a weird feeling that Giannis will not be like one of the best players in the game this year. I just have a weird feeling it doesn't feel like it's the year for Giannis. But right now, Giannis is the best power forward in the game. And then it's a really close one. So I know who I'm going to pick, but a couple of guys are honorable mentions, but Dolph. Specifically, Mas Dolph. Mas Dolph gets juice tendencies, the other Dolph doesn't. But Dolph, 90 speed, 90 lateral quickness, 80 steal, 80 block, 85 driving, 88 3-ball. Grazing the pressure, limitless takeoff, corner special, set shooter, catch and shoot, limitless spot up. He can get the likes of clamps, interceptor, gets half rebound chaser. And he's got 38 on quick, which is a super, super good release. And he's got Harden behind the back, so he can kind of dribble. So, like, Dolph, for me, comes in as the number 2 player. So, like, we still have, like, 2 of these guys came out in the freaking masked promo at Halloween. Like, that promo was so top heavy. Like, none of those guys were good. None of the lower tier guys were good. It was so top heavy, it's unbelievable. I'm trying to think, who came in the masked promo? Who did come in that promo? It was like, the Rubies all sucked. Yeah, this was the most top heavy promo ever. Like, Jet Terry was kind of cheap and good, and he was the only one. Like, CB3 and Kyrie were tactical downgrades. LeBron, Derrick Rose, and Westbrook were all tactical downgrades. Lambeer sucked. And Algauskas is okay. Man, this set was not very good outside of these two guys. And maybe Jet Terry. Or say, and AK. I mean, AK's in this conversation as well with Dolph. I don't think he's above Dolph. And I mean, AK is also in the conversation with Wiggins. I'm going to very, very slightly put Wiggins over AK. Well, AK is there. You could easily, if you wanted to put in Kurylenko here, and you wanted to go with 3 alter ego players, you most definitely could. I'm going to go with Wiggins, but if you want to go with 3 alter egos, I'm not gonna complain about that. So now we're on to the center position. And there's one obvious one. Like, look, David Robinson is the most obvious inclusion in all of these lists. David Robinson is incredible. Like, he is a big center. He sets screens well. It doesn't even matter. 20th or 75th is better, but they're basically the same. David Robinson is a big body. He sets screens super, super well. He rebounds well, even though his stats aren't great because he's got half rebound chaser. He's got clamps. He can get dice quick first step. You give him the shooting badges. He's got a good release. Not the greatest rating, but he will hit. Good driving dunk, good post game, decent speed. And he's 7'1" with a 7'5" wingspan. Second best center, in my opinion, is George Mikan. I really love George Mikan. Like, if you compare stats wise, Mikan is better, but D-Rob's bigger. Like, D-Rob has 2 extra half badges, and Mikan has some extra golds. And the half badge is like post finish, and that's a pretty good badge to have, but it's gold versus half doesn't really make much of a difference. Mikan gets like sniper, and Mikan gets downhill, which is a really interesting badge, but D-Rob gets like rebound chaser, which is good. And he gets interceptor, whereas Mikan, you can give it to Mikan, he doesn't come with it. Both versions of Mikan get every badge, by the way, and he also doesn't come with clamps. So it's a close one. Like, if you're looking stats wise though, Mikan is plus 110, like plus 14 better steal. He's got way better standing and driving dunk. His ball handling's a lot. So there are specific situations where Mikan is going to play better, but I think for most people they're going to prefer D-Rob. So I'm going to put D-Rob there. But George Mikan's number 2. George Mikan, as far as personal ones, is number 2. It doesn't matter. Both versions of George Mikan are the exact same. They both get the exact same badges. So yeah, for me, the top 5 most OP players in the game: Penny, Clay, Kevin Durant, Giannis Antetokounmpo, David Robinson. With the honorable mentions being Marcus Smart, Tracy McGrady, Andrew Wiggins, Dolph Schayes, and George Mikan. So yeah, they are my 10. So anyway, that is the video, lads. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.